Okay, so I literally had no voice coming into this world. I was a miracle baby, born a pound and a half. I wasn't supposed to live. So I was fighting for every breath to just make it into the world and find my voice. Taking that further, I grew up with a neurological disorder called Tourette's syndrome, which are uncontrollable tics and twitches. So I was bullied a lot as a kid. It definitely was very hard for me to find my voice. But as I grew, older and the years went on, I started to come across that video on LinkedIn. Actually had a really big impact on me in finding my voice and really Voice Your Vibe coming to Bay. But I always say people have a voice and a story that matters, and that your voice and story can positively affect and impact and inspire another human being by showing up and sharing you and your voice. And I did that, and it was nerve-wracking for me. But when I did, all the love, support, and encouragement that I got, it really changed my life and allowed me to be my whole self in ways that I hadn't been throughout my entire life. Yeah, my very first video on LinkedIn was absolutely that moment. I was terrified to do it. It was the first time that I actually shared my life story in the world of business, but let alone in the world in general. At that time, in front of 500 million people. And I was just all the worried about what people would think, what would they say, because no one knew any of these things about me. And so as I had shared it, all the love, support, and encouragement that I got, it made me for the first time not look at myself as being weird and different in a bad way, and realizing that I had gifts and superpowers that allowed me to share my story with others, to be able to help them in ways I never could have imagined. And my why is to inspire one person a day. And I've been told I do that. And by sharing my story, I've been able to help so many. So that definitely was a life-changing moment for me. Wow. It's interesting that you asked that, because I had been at one of the world's, or the world's largest video conference, VidCon, 2 years ago, and they had this pop-up that Comcast was doing. And you walked into this very dark room that was split in two directions. And one was, you hold a sign, it says Generation Change, and what do you stand for? And I said, voiceless and differently abled. The other one was a video interview, lights, camera, action. It was really scary, actually. And I got in front of the camera, and they asked a very similar question, although it was like my 13-year-old self or something. And I would say the same thing. And I felt like I was in that body again at the height of my Tourette's, with all these tics and twitches that were uncontrollable. And I said that you matter, and that you have a voice, and that you have a story, and that you're loved. And I think it's easy for us to forget about those things, right? It's easiest, especially in these times where we're shackled to our homes, if you will, right? We're sheltered in place, and we can't physically be with people. I love hugging people, we can't do that. I haven't hugged people outside of my home for 6 months. And I think knowing that you can do that, you can reach people, you can connect, and it's you're just a click away from a conversation, just like we are, right? And being able to have that love boomerang reach people. So I think it's know that you matter, and know that you're loved, and know that you have a voice and a story, and know that by sharing that, it allows you to connect with people in ways you never thought were possible. So in these times more than ever, especially in a pandemic, to share, to show up, to be you. It's okay to be vulnerable, and know that we're all living with our chests cracked open and our hearts beating wide. And that's where we should all be living right now. And whatever you're feeling is okay, and to express that. And if you're not feeling okay, express that and know that that's okay. If you're feeling happy, great, express that and be happy. But know that anything you're feeling is okay. And we're all kind of just growing through this experience together. Yes, I am. This is my empowered voice.